Cabbage in Arabic means malfoof, and malfoof means rolled or stuffed. And I don't know if it's because the main meal, well, the only meal we really have with cabbages is malfoof, which is the stuffed cabbages. I don't know which one came first, but I think it's really hilarious that malfoof literally means rolled, and the only meal we have is rolled or stuffed cabbage. Hey everyone, welcome to Jude's Kitchen. I'm Jude, and today I'm going to teach you how to make stuffed cabbages. This meal is beyond delicious, and for all of you out there that don't like cabbages, this is the meal that will make you absolutely love it. I will never forget my friend who never really liked cabbages, and then until he had our way of making stuffed cabbages, and he was like, my god, this is delicious. And it was really funny because when my mum came to visit me while I was at uni in England, and whenever she came, she always used to make us a Palestinian feast, an absolute feast. It was amazing, and she always got us to help making it, of course, because she's not going to be slaving about while she make us food. And we were sat down once on a Saturday night, me and my friend, rolling cabbages, and he looked at me and he was like, you know what, Jude? Never in a million years did I think that I would be sat here with a Palestinian on a Saturday night rolling cabbages. And it just always cracked me up when I was like, I know, Jordan, I know, who would have known? This recipe is actually quite simple. A lot of people are get put off doing stuffed vine leaves or stuffed cabbages just because they can be a bit complicated, but believe me, they are not. All you need to do is make the mix, put it in the cabbage, roll it about, put it in a pot and cook it. It's simple, I wouldn't say it's quick, but it's definitely simple, tasty and amazing. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, then please hit the button down below because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned. So first we're going to start with cutting the cabbage. You want to get rid of the core and then separate each leaf on its own, and then boil them until they are soft and tender, but not too tender, they will fall apart. You can boil the whole cabbage first to make peeling it a bit easier. Malfoof is one of my absolute favourites, especially in winter, when it's in season. Malfoof really marks the beginning of winter, the season of cauliflower, cabbage and citrus fruits. And as much as I am a summer girl, I absolutely love winter. The coziness, the food and all the love. And it's the season of so many fruit and veg. And now you want to leave the cabbage leaves to boil until they are soft and tender. So for a good 10 minutes, or until they are tender enough. Just touch it and see. And while you do that, you can start by making the filling. For one big cabbage, you want to use 1 cup of short grain rice. I'm going to teach you how to make 2 types of fillings. One is my mama's vegan malfoof recipe, and the other is a recipe I made that will taste like the original one with meat. I'll be using vegan mince for that one and parsley and tomatoes for the other. We don't have vegan mince in Palestine, so my mama uses tomatoes and parsley instead. Some people even use chickpeas. So for the first recipe, we want to chop 1 tomato real fine. And now, after you added the tomatoes to the rice, you want to chop the parsley real fine too. We have many dishes in Palestine that are vegan, like kalanji, which is vegan stuffed vine leaves, but it's eaten cold. It's almost like a snack, and my god, is it so easy to eat a massive pot of it in one sitting. The filling recipe for that is very similar to the recipe my family uses for the filling, for all our stuffed and rolled recipes. And man, do we have many recipes for stuffed and rolled things. We seriously stuffed any vegetables you can think of, carrots, aubergines and even cucumbers. But to be fair, I love stuffed meals. They are so good. I would say our main meal recipes in Palestine are mostly either stews or stuffed vegetables, and they are both, oh, so good. And now we want to add the spices. You want to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of allspice. And just a little sprinkle of nutmeg. And 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. And now we want to squeeze half a lemon to add on top. You don't have to squeeze it though, you can just slice the half a lemon or even grate it. Some people even use molasses. We sometimes add pomegranate molasses and it does give such a nice taste, but I think if you're doing this for the first time, try it without. It's definitely something to keep in mind if you want to spice it up later on. And then you want to add a dash of olive oil. You can use vegan butter if that's all you have. You just need something with a bit of oil to coat it all. But I say olive oil is the best to use as it does go so beautifully with this recipe. And now we're done with filling recipe number 1. You want to mix it all about and then start adding them to the now soft cabbage leaves and roll them up. You want to add half a tablespoon on each cabbage leaf. Don't add too much as you don't want it to fall apart. And then just roll it up using as much force to tightly roll it up. And this is how it should look like. Now put it aside and start with the next one. Don't worry if they're not rolled perfectly, because honestly, they will taste great anyway. Just have fun while rolling them. Honestly, my English friends loved rolling them whenever my mama came down for a visit. It's actually quite fun. And now we want to start with filling number 2. So you want to use a cup of short grain rice, and then you want to add 200 grams of vegan mince, a bunch of parsley, and then the same spices we had for the other fillings. So 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and allspice, and just a little sprinkle of nutmeg, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, and of course the half lemon and the olive oil. So now we want to start assembling things together. We need to peel a whole head of garlic. We want to add some of the cabbage bits to the bottom, the bits that were too hard to roll, the bits near the core. Take that and add it to the bottom of the pot so if it burns, it doesn't burn the actual rolled cabbages. And now you just want to layer it with both the rolled cabbages and the garlic. Make sure the garlic is spread evenly through the pot. And don't forget to add some salt or cumin. And then you want to fill the pot 2 centimeters above the rolled cabbages with boiling water. And then cover it up with a plate or a lid smaller than the pot, and then add any weight to it, like a mug or something. You need to add that weight so the cabbages don't unroll while the water is moving about. Leave the pot on a low to medium heat, but keep checking that it does not run out of water and salt. Rice soaks up so much water, so keep your eye on it. The first 10 minutes it could soak up all the water really quickly. If it does, just add more water and make sure the water doesn't run out, as then the cabbages will burn. Make sure it's completely covered with water the first 20 minutes. After that, just leave it for a good 40 minutes and make sure that it doesn't run out of water completely. After 40 minutes to an hour of it cooking, add 2 squeezed lemons and parsley on top. Some cumin too, as cabbages are known to be quite bloaty. I'm not going to lie, our food is quite bloaty, but that's why we use cumin in everything, as it helps massively with bloating. Also, you can use some dried mints or fresh ones, as that is very soothing for the stomach too. And it tastes great. Now leave it to boil for at least 20 minutes. Just to test if it's ready, poke it with a fork or a knife, and if it feels soft enough and cooked through, then get it out. Or better yet, just try one, see if it's cooked, if it's all tender and soft. And we're all done. Now all you want to do is sprinkle some parsley on top, and add some lemons if you don't think it's lemony enough. You know I won't think it is. I love that taste of fresh lemons on top, but of course, try it first. If you think it's lemony the way it is, don't add more. And as we say in Arabic, صحتين وعافية. Don't forget to tag me or send me a picture if you do attempt to make this or any of the other recipes. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned.